Good afternoon to all of you, class. So, welcome to week 3 of our ICT illustration. So, under week 3, we have shapes. So, what is the definition of shapes? A shape is created when a line is enclosed. Shape is one of the 7 elements of art, and it has a variety of uses in the creation of art. So, meaning a shape is created with a series of lines, okay? And those lines, whether it is a straight line, an arc, a polygon, for that matter, it is considered a shape, okay? So shape is an art. When a shape has been applied with colors, your creation of art has been leveled up, okay? So there are so many uses of shape. They help to create complex drawings, paintings, affect composition, and contribute to the balance within a work. Okay, so this one is an in-depth definition of shape. Shape helps create complex drawings. Okay, a drawing is composed of so many shapes. Okay, paintings also is composed of so many shapes. Like for example, you are drawing a nature. Okay, a flat terrain or a rice field can be associated with a rectangular shape. A mountain in your nature drawing can be associated with triangle. A series of circles in your nature's drawing can be also associated with trees. So drawings and paintings came to life or come to life because of shapes. It affects composition and contribute to the balance within a work. So drawing, paintings, any work of art is composed of so many shapes, regardless of sizes, regardless of its arrangement, regardless of its appearance. It is shapes. So shape is a two-dimensional area that is defined by a value, change in value, or some other form of contrast. When you say it is two-dimensional, okay, it is a flat surface. You could only see here shape in black. This is in triangle, circle, and a polygon. So all shapes are two-dimensional, meaning they only have only length and width. Okay? So, ang ibig sabihin yan, meron lang silang dalawa, length and width. Okay? Regardless of its size, regardless of its position, it is two-dimensional. All shapes will fall into one or two of two categories. Geometric shapes or regular shapes are easy to recognize. So like this one. When you say geometric shapes, ito yung geometric. This is in the form of circle, triangle, rectangle, cone. Okay. Anorganic or freeform shapes are shapes that seems to follow no rules. It is somewhat falls under polygon. Okay. But still, it is considered shape. It is in a freeform shape. So recognizing the shapes that we see will lead to improved drawing and painting. So for example, you see here a chair. So based from this one, I can see that there are a square, there are rectangles, okay? Here, rectangle, there is also an arc in a form like this one, okay? So shapes defined by objects are positive shapes in space, and shapes defined by round objects are negative shapes in space. So when you say, for example, negative, it is the space in between the positive. The relationship between the positive and negative shapes helps the brain of our viewers understand what they are seeing. So for example, here, so I'm seeing a series of circles as a rectangle, a triangle. So they have formed a 2D image in a form of bicycle. So by recognizing geometric and organic shapes, we can draw anything. Even complicated objects become easy to draw when we isolate basic geometric and organic shapes. So in drawing, like for example this one, we can see that if you want to start to draw a hand, you must figure out what is the basic shape in forming a hand. Okay, here is our somewhat sided view of rectangle with an angle of triangle and then a series of rectangle for that matter, and then extension of another for the fingernails, and you have a perfect drawing of a hand. Okay, so it's very interesting if you want to create a drawing and illustrate the drawing. You must identify what shape needs to apply in that drawing for the main draft. Okay, so maganda na iniisip mo pala, gusto kong mag-drawing ng robot. Okay, so kung mag-drawing ka ng robot, makikita mo ano ang pwede para sa kanyang head, sa kanyang body, sa kanyang fingers, sa kanyang legs. Okay, so by imagining your ideal kind of robot drawing is pumapasok na sa idea mo what kind of shapes that you need to use. So there you have it. Thank you for listening. Again, this is week 3 of our illustration. So I hope nagkaroon kayo ng idea on how to use or what is the definition of shape kasi ito yung fundamental. Ito yung pinaka-fundamental aspect ng drawing natin for your subject illustration. Okay? So in illustration, it is very essential for you to know before applying colors in it is you have to identify the series of shapes to use. Remember, in illustration, you are not just working into an art, but rather you are expanding an art into something that is very, very pleasing to the eye. As an ICT student, okay, you have the opportunity to create your own imaginative creativity in a form of drawing. So it's very important for you to be inspired with this so many variety of shapes, and this shape will make your drawing and illustration come to life. Good morning to all of you. So yesterday we have discussed about the shapes. So for today, we will discuss the volume, which is our main topic for this week. So what are volumes? The definition would be Drawing of the volume is made to represent the magnitude or scale of an object and the space the object occupies. To get this, we use modeling art, and it means to draw gradients, shadows, and lights on objects to simulate their volume. For this reason, it's also called 3D modeling, as it seeks to represent a space with depth. So for the drawing volumes, as you can see, we have here the circle. But if there is a volume that is applied in a circle, then it becomes sphere. Here. So when the square has been added with a volume, it will become a cube. Likewise, if a triangle has been added with a volume, it will become pyramid, cone, and also a cylinder. So when you see the difference between the two, this is merely a 2D graphics, a 2D image. But when volume has been added to a shape, it will become like this. So for the shading, the use of light and dark values to give the illusion of form and depth. So you have to know where the light will come from in your drawing. If it is in front, then therefore the shadow or the shading must be also emphasized. For the terms, we have here the highlight, which is like reflection of the light. There is also transitional light middle values here, which means that it is in the middle of a highlight, and the darker side, which is the core of the shadow, at the bottom. The reflected light will be at the bottom, which casts a shadow on the right side. Right side or left side depends upon your angle of light. So I repeat, these are the terms: highlight, transitional light middle values, core of the shadow, reflected light, and cast shadow. For the hatching, as you all know, here is a shading of the pencil. For the hatching, there is a line that is visible, and also there is a line wherein the pencil or the marker has been blended from lighter colors to darker colors. We also have cross-hatching, which, as you all know, it's in a form of a crisscross. So this is a light cross-hatching wherein you could see the square in the middle. However, there is also a cross-hatching where you cannot see the square in the middle, the little squares, but you see that there is a crisscross, a line that is perpendicular to the line above it. Now there is a stripling. Stripling is like adding variety of dots, and that dots form as tips. There's also scribbling, wherein the lines can be parallel or perpendicular to the lines that has been added into the image or drawing. And blending. So you could see in the blending that there is lighter, darker, and then extra darker shadings of the pencils. So there you have it. We have 5 techniques: hatching, cross-hatching, stippling, and scribbling. Also blending. Okay, so when you're drawing something, it is important that you know where the light is, and then make that image, character, or thing, the object of your drawing, come to life in a form of these different techniques of sketching. Again, volume is an art. We are using this in order for you to model art and then draw and simulate that art in a form of 3D modeling. So this is not just a pure 2D, okay? Meaning you are applying something into the image in a form of 3D modeling. So I hope that you are inspired to draw more. Instead of shapes, we suggest that you can draw different characters or different subject for that matter, then give a life on that image by using volumes. Okay? So for the meantime is, of course, there are so many variety of techniques when you are drawing kasi napakadaling mag-drawing ng 2D lang. But mas maganda kasi at nabibigyan ng buhay ang isang sketch kung lalagyan mo ito ng volume. Okay? So, kung meron kayong question, I will be answering your question sa chat box.